Good morning, everyone. This is Sarah Burr coming to you live as I attempt to make some new designs in Canva. It has been a while since I have done a stream on this platform. My goal is to begin making more videos in this manner that just show me puttering around Canva, making my designs in the hopes that I can give you some tips, some best practices, and some inspiration when it comes to designing your bookish content to share on social media platforms or to print bookmarks to use in event settings if you're going to a panel or you're going to a book fair. Just exploring all that Canva has to offer in regards to design that will help you build your author brand and create some beautiful content that is engaging and fun. So for today, again, this is going to be me really just moving about my day using Canva as I normally do to create designs that I share with my readers. I think to start things off, what I am interested in designing are some new posts featuring my new release, Throwback for Murder, that I want to share online with folks. So let us get started. And since we last connected, Canva has gone through some major overhauls in regards to their interface setup, in regards to where tools are located and all that good stuff. So I'll be pointing that out along the way. So right now I'm currently in a design that I have open here. You can see it up in my tab. I'm going to click on my home menu to bring me back to my home screen. Now my home screen looks a lot different than it used to. You can see that Canva is leaning really hard into their AI tools and whatnot, and we may explore that a little bit. Canva, I believe, out of all of the AI that is going on in the world right now, Canva does pay their creators who have contributed to their AI platform. They do get some payment in regards to the designs that are generated and whatnot. So in regards to how AI is viewed, I believe that Canva approaches it more ethically than some corporations. They didn't steal books from a pirating website and train their AI using books in that manner, as some corporations have done. So I will freely admit that when it comes to creating a social media post, that I will sometimes use the AI features that are available to me. However, I do not use AI and do not recommend using AI for things that really, really matter, such as your book cover and anything that is going to be generating you revenue. I don't use AI for those types of items, just because I believe in having a soul behind a design, and using artists, either myself or paying the appropriate artists for their talents to create those images. So that's kind of my disclaimer as we move forward. There are some instances where I think their AI is really helpful, and that is in their Magic Expand feature. I actually use that a lot when I just need something to be more than it is. We'll go through the process, but that's one of the tools that I do use with some frequency because it's helpful in creating my work. So let us get started. I am going to go to the Create menu. You can see that we've got a bunch of different options here, depending on where you are going to be using your items, the designs that you create. Obviously I'm going to be going into the social media section. We've got our popular area. We've got Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm going to be using Instagram because that is always the basis for all of my image content, because Facebook and Instagram are really interchangeable when it comes to those types of designs, especially with the new configuration that they have on Instagram with their new grid. They're no longer using square grids on a profile page. So if you want all of the content displayed, you do have to use their new post feature, which is this 4:5 ratio, which is 1080 by 1350 for the pixels. You can see that information right underneath the post. If you are only making content for Facebook, you can use this, the Facebook post landscape, the 940 by 788 pixel. Actually, I'm gonna change my mind on the fly. I'm gonna use this particular image, this canvas here, but I'm actually gonna go to resize right away, and I'm going to go to custom sizing, and here in the custom size menu, you can see that here are our already determined canvas size of the 940 by 788. I'm going to make sure that that's checked, and I'm going to lock the aspect ratio because even though I'm going to make this, I don't think that these pixels are high enough for clarity purposes. So I'm actually going to make my image, my canvas bigger so that the pixels are larger, but keep that same ratio. So the image is just going to appear crisp, more crisp on your Facebook page. So I am going to jack it up to the width being 1500, making sure that that check stays checked. And you'll notice because I locked that ratio, that the height automatically adjusted. So we've got our 1500 by 1257, and I'm just going to resize this design. I'm not going to open up a new design with those specifications. So you can see that the page is resigned so that we've got that the more pixel coverage here. So we'll have a more high quality image to post on Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and type in my trending topic mysteries, because that is my identifier that I use to search for all of my content that is related to my trending topic mysteries series. I'm going to type throwback for murder Facebook designs. So now we have that saved with the title. I can, when I'm in my search, if I go back home really quickly, where I go to search designs, if I just type in TTM, you're going to see I've got all of this information popping up that is related to my trending topic mystery series, so that I can access that information in one space. So back in the design itself, I just want to create some posts that I can share online whenever I really need some content. I'm going to go into my Sarah's book cover folders, which I have a project folder that I've created that has all of the PNGs of my covers so that they're all accessible regardless of the series that they're a part of. They're all in one place. So I'm going to go ahead and select my throwback for murder, cover to have that on the page. And right away, we'll start off with just like a basic, a basic kind of call to action of the book being out, being available, and maybe with a tagline to use to pique a reader's interest. So right away, I'm just going to go into this edit button that is in my toolbar that pops up once I've selected the throwback for murder image. If you've watched one of my videos before, you'll know how much I love the shadow effect because of the depth that it creates on the image. I think it just adds such a professional layer to my designs. I use it all the time. I don't think I ever have a flat 2D image that I am sharing, just because that depth really just enhances the cover, number one, just popping off the page, and it just adds kind of a extra layer of professionalism to the design. I think back to the days where I was using Microsoft Paint to promote my books, and it was just these flat images that were, cut like a background. solid background color, nothing much going on. And it just looked like, oh, this person used Microsoft Paint to create this design. But with the shadowing and everything else that's available in Canva, we can create something that looks like it came straight out of a publicity department rather than my home computer that I am puttering away on. So first things first, I love the page lift. I love the page lift shadowing. It's one of my favorites. I really like the drop shadow as well. Sometimes I'll do the glow if I really want something to like overall pop off the page, but I just love using page lift. I don't know. There's something about it that I think just makes it look much more, it's simple, but it is enough to make a reader kind of, they understand kind of what's going on. It's under an understated shadowing. So we've got that configured, and right away, I'm going to come in and I'm going to first start off with a background color for this design. You can notice that right away that Canva pulls the colors that are used in my cover image right here for me. So if I wanted the blue to be used, I could add it here. I could add this pink. I'm not sure I'm going to do a brown color. We've got the sandy color all being pulled so that you can have a color palette work for you. I'm going to opt to do something a little bit different to help the cover really stand out against the background. So what I am going to do is first, I'm going to go up to the document colors and I'm going to add in a new color. And using this as my base, I'm actually going to move the color bar slightly in the direction of green so that we've got like a little bit of a teal aspect going on. So it's slightly different than that original blue that we started off with, but it's still in the realm of that same color palette so that it's not incredibly jarring. But we're going to add a lot more to the image to really help it stand out. Next, we're going to move into my text field. So navigating over here on the left-hand side, I'm trying to think of a good name, I guess like the project, we'll call this the project menu because it has all of my folders, it has all of my tools and everything that I'm accessing here. So on the project menu, I'm going to click on the text item and then make sure that I am in my right brand kit. You guys know how much I love a good brand kit as part of my pro membership. So I come in here, right now it's selected to my Bookish Hour brand kit where I have everything for our Bookish Time Enterprise series and all of that good stuff. I've got my personal author brand. I've got brands for each of my different series. So I'm going to go right into the trending topic mysteries from here so that I can use the fonts that have been that I've already pre-configured. You'll notice I have the font that matches the word murder on my cover. So I have kind of the consistency there from a marketing standpoint. This particular font is what we use for the series where it says a trending topic mystery. That is the same font there. So there's that continuation. We also have the font for the word throwback. And so that's kind of like the standard font for my covers that I have. So I'm going to be using this font to get us started just as I begin to work with my tagline. And I need to figure out, what am I going to say to capture the essence of my book? I always love using a tagline. I think it is a great way to kind of hook a reader into telling folks what your book is about and going forward from there. So a tagline that I've been using lately is, let me pull it up here. I have it in my notes. That really captures kind of the fun and engagement of the trending topic mysteries are mysteries with humor, heart, and a side of #havoc, so that our audience knows, hey, we've got something going on here with social media because that's where hashtags are involved. But we know that it's first and foremost about humor and heart as Coco, my protagonist, navigates her mysteries with her friends. So I'm just doing a quick configuration of this tagline just to kind of help me frame my image. This is not how it's going to look in the long run, but I like to kind of lay things out in like a mock-up form so that you can see how you can visualize the layout. And as we get further in the design, you know, obviously we're going to be making changes, but it's nice to kind of have an overall view of, okay, I'm going to have my cover on one side, I'm going to have my tagline on the other, and then I want a call to action. And that call to action is, what do you want readers to get from your design? I obviously want readers to check out my series and get to meet Coco and her friends and explore a little bit more with them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into the elements section on the project menu. I live most of my time in the elements section when I'm working in Canva, because it really contains everything. It's a one-stop shop. You can access the photos, you can access videos, you can access shapes, stickers, graphics, what have you. So I'm just going to search all of the elements to get us started. And I think I'm going to just type in the word, let's say buy now to start. And just take a look right here. You can see everything's broken up into graphics, photos, videos. If I wanted like a animated component, I could do that. So from here, I'm just going to go to see all to look at all of the graphics, and just look at what we have popping up here. What I'm looking for is something that kind of leans itself to that cozy mystery vibe. So I'm looking for something that is probably charming, that is warm and welcoming, cute, full of character. You know, something like this buy button with a hand, that's not exuding warmth and coziness to me. Like, I'm looking for something that is on brand with the type of books that I write. And right away, this one is the one that caught my eye because it is, yes, it is, you know, direct with what's going on. But I like that the curve, it's like a curviness and a coziness to that arrow that really helps kind of frame I think it frames the series a little bit better than something that is just like this generic order now button. Like that that doesn't give me like cozy vibes. This one has like a little quirkiness, a little silliness to it. And you'll notice that right up at the top here on the editing menu, I can change the color. And because I'm already in my Trending Topic Mysteries brand kit, you'll see all of my all of the color palettes that I've been using as I've been working on this series over the years. I've even got some for book specific palettes. So tag me for murder, DM me for murder. I have yet to make my one for Throwback for Murder. We could actually probably go through that today during the stream so you can see how I do that. But I am going to select a color. Let's start here with the photo color. We're going to start with this particular color, and we're going to go up to the document colors again and make some adjustments to it to make it a little bit more bright and vibrant. So I'm going to drag it to the side so we get a little bit more vibrancy in that color. But I'm also going to drag it down a little bit here so that we get a little bit more of those pink undertones, because this is more, I think, of a pink coloring than anything. That one's a little bit too bright. I think that's good. And then I'm just going to make some quick adjustments here with the colors. I actually don't know where I think that must be the shadow behind it. So I'm going to make the shadow darker. And if I wanted to, I could adjust the white outline here to something that is maybe more associated with the cover itself. But for now, I'm just going to keep it white. We might switch it as we configure this design a little bit more. So now that we have our call to action, I think I'm going to end up placing this over on the cover. Because it is an arrow, I want it to be like pointing to something helpful. So here we may do some repositioning. Maybe we'll put it here for now. Okay, so now we have the elements that we have at play that we're going to be using. And I think what I'd like to do, the more that I'm looking at this, I want to really emphasize humor, heart, and hashtag havoc out of this lineup. So what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm just going to change the color of them. And we're going to use the pink that we have been utilizing in the buy now. So there's that, there is that continuation of using the same color palette. When I'm in a document, I don't want to have tons and tons of color. I want it to be relatively simple for the audience. I don't want them to be seeing too much right off the bat. So that's something to keep in mind, that as you're creating a design, if you find that you've got like tons and tons of colors here, like paring it down to stay on brand is, I think, something to consider so that it's not so busy. The same with fonts. You don't want a ton of different fonts on your in your design as well. So now that I've made those adjustments, I definitely need something better for this background. And I think what I'd like to do is kind of capture the setting a bit more. So we see here that we have a beach setting with on the cover. So perhaps we can do something in the beach space. But what I'd really like to do is actually capture the heart and humor of the series, meaning Coco being with her friends. So I'm going into the photos section. Again, this is on my project menu already. It's open. It's a folder that I've got open. I could do it from the elements section as well. I'll show you here. So I'm going to just type friends on a beach and go to the photos area. So we've got a bunch of different images with friends here. And, you know, I'm alluding to the fact that it's Coco and her friends. So let's take a look at this group. So that's a man, 2 girls, and a guy. So I think I'm going to use this. I'm going to crop these poor people out to get things started, because we have, you know, in theory, we could have Coco, Charlotte, Hudson, and Jasper, who are my main characters of this series. So I am going to use this as my kind of starting point. And I'm going to actually go right into the edit feature from here and go to Magic Eraser. Magic Eraser is, in theory, it is one of their AI tools that they're using to kind of to clear out people or items that are in the design itself. So this is an AI component, but in my opinion, it's one of the more harmless AI components, because I'm not creating anything from this. I'm actually erasing and removing things from the original photo. So I'm going to go ahead and erase so that I just have the 4 friends here. And perfect. So we have this. And honestly, I'm wondering, I think I'm going to be really, I'm going to do some stuff that I wasn't planning to, but I think I want to show you guys how this works. So I'm just going to make the background. I'm going to bring up the, actually, let's see here. We're going to start over. So here's the original size here. So I'm going to edit. I'm going again to that Magic Eraser feature. I'm going to go to click, because I want it to automatically just click and remove these 2 people from the picture. I could use a freestyle brush if I wanted to. My hand is so shaky and I'm horrible at brush work. So if I can do the easy click and remove, I'm going to do it. So now I have this image, and what I actually like to do is I'm going to duplicate the image, and in this duplication, I'm going to remove the background, because I just want the 4 friends jumping. And why I want them jumping is because I actually want to move, like recenter this image over here. So now I'm going to click on the original image, and I'm going to go back into that Magic Eraser, and I'm going to remove all of the people. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just have this really nice, like, sunset picture in the end. So let's wait while that removes. All right. And then go back to the image itself. And so now I'm going to set this as my background. I've got my sunset more prominently. And now I'm going to drag it so that my friends are placed against the background too. And I'm going to go to the positioning button on my edit bar, and I'm going to put it to the back so that my friends are all moved here. And so now we have a recentered image with the friends jumping at the beach. We're all good on that front. One thing I do want to see if I can try is I'm just adjusting the size, the canvas frame here, so I can click both the background and the friends at the same time, because there is a really cool feature that I've actually been wanting to try out, but I have a hard time finding ways to show it. So what I am doing is I am selecting the background, and I'm also selecting I think I actually need to remove this as background. It needs to be its own image. All right. Give me just a second to reposition some stuff, because I want to blend these two back together, and Canva does have a feature for that. Okay, so I think that's like roughly where we were. Okay, so I'm highlighting the back image, I'm highlighting the friend image, and then I'm going to, oh, do they not have it available here? Let me see here. Edit. There's one that's called like blend, but where did it go? I wonder if they got rid of it. Oh, looks like they did. Oh man. Well, all right. Well, best laid intentions on that one. I'll have to see if while we're puttering around, if it pops up at some point, because it seems like it would be a really cool feature. Okay, so anyways, we have our background image, but guys can definitely see, like, Sarah, you can't even see your tagline anymore. So what we are going to do is we're going to make that tagline stand out a bit. And what I want to do, I actually want to get back to that the pretty background color that we initially were using. So if I go back to my layers, you see like this background color that we don't see anymore. I want to go in and I want to make sure that I remember this color palette, because I like that color. I'm going to go back to my elements section, and I'm going to search for one of the search items that I use all the time, which is smear. I don't know how I discovered that this was the word that I needed, but I really like using textured items to break up elements of an image. So instead of having just like a rectangle, like a straight line across that separates them, I like to have this like texturedness that feels like it's kind of blending in with the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see here, I'm going to change number one. That color is still available, which is perfect. I'm going to do some cropping because I just want this to be a rectangle for now. All right, and then what I want to do is drag it so it's completely covering everything. Go to my positioning. I'm going to drag everything so that it is, all of my stuff is like basically back to normal where we started before we were playing with that background. And then on the editing bar, I'm going to drag down the transparency so that we see our friends having fun at the beach, but we have like this nice barrier that is at least allowing my tagline to really still stand out. But it's still not standing out enough for my liking, so I'm going to go to the effects item on the editing bar. And I used to be all about the neon effect. I still use it on occasion and everything, but for this particular item, I am not going to be using it. Let's see here. What I'm going to use is the outline because it creates a really nice barrier between my words and the background that they're up against, so that it really helps the information stand out. And I can drag the thickness of that outline as much as I need. I definitely need this to be a different color though. So I'm going to go to my color wheel. I'm going to change. That is a bit too, that's a bit too intense. So we need to find a happy medium between this intense black and the kind of what the background color currently is. So let me go into the document colors. Let's just drag this down a bit so that it's getting darker and darker and darker. And I think where that is beautiful, I might drag the thickness down just a little bit. Oh, okay, perfect. Look how much nicer that stands out. I'm gonna even go up to, on the editing bar again, I'm gonna go to the spacing, and I'm gonna adjust the line spacing so that it is not as extreme between each line, although I think I actually want it to be a little bit more spacing so that it's not so condensed together. Love it. Okay. I'm going to drag this in a little bit. All right, now we're getting somewhere. We've got my tagline. We've got the book cover to appeal to people that are scrolling by. We've got the friend group that's jumping up in the back, looking like they're having a great time, so that folks know, like, hey, there's like something going on here that's fun and exciting, and it's at the beach. You know, let's explore more. But it's still missing kind of like the cozy atmosphere that I'm going for. So I want to add in something that is going to make it more cozy. And what I'm going to do is I am going to add in a white cat like I have on my cover. So let's search white cat. And as I'm scrolling, we've got so many options here. Let's see. So many options. Well, this one looks cute. Maybe. That's a maybe. What I'd really like is, this is the same cat that looks like it's on the cover. So let's use that one so that we've got like the consistency of the cover cat with our promo cat. So here we're going to position her so she's kind of like a corner piece, which looks great. I'm going to do some repositioning of my cover image so that it's a little bit more spread out on the page itself. I'm going to bring down the buy now a little bit. Actually, I'm actually just going to make it a little bit smaller because just so it's not like overwhelming the cover. All right, and love it. Mysteries with humor, heart, and a side of hashtag havoc. What I would love to do, let me see if I can actually do this in the design itself without the whole thing changing. Nope, don't want that. I want the word hashtag to be the same as my murder word, the same font as murder, so that it kind of adds like a little bit extra. So I'm going to copy. I'm going to duplicate this text box because I am lazy and don't like typing things out. And I am going to switch that word hashtag to the playlist script. And then what I need to do, so in theory, what I'm going to be doing is this, but I got to get rid of this hashtag. So I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to just create some space for it by hitting enter. And then I'm just going to slide it in to the image. There we go. And then you can see that I can use the lines to say, okay, it's straight down. But because of the kind of the balance of the writing itself, I'm actually going to do a little bit of freestyle placement and go off of looks rather than where the lines are telling me. So this is a little bit more balanced. So perfect. Now I've got this, you know, mysteries with heart, humor, heart, and a side of #havoc. And you know what? As I was reading that out to myself, I'm going to swap these two words with each other, with heart, humor, and a side of #havoc. All right, perfect. Last but not least, what I want to do, I'm going to make my kitty just a little bit smaller so she's not like completely overwhelming. I want to add something in these corners because these corners to me feel a little empty. So I'm going to go up to again, in my elements section, I'm going to go to that search bar. I'm going to type in corner and look to see what we have. Again, I'm looking for something that's cozy. I'm looking for something that's fun. Ooh, I love this. This looks super fun. And I can go to flip. Always takes me forever to figure out where my flipping is going. Oops, didn't mean to hit the duplicate. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Flip vertical, flip horizontal. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to position this so it is behind my cover. So as my cover is popping up. And then we're going to make some changes to the colors here to match my color scheme. Here we go. Let's do pink. This one. Should we do this one? No, too dark. And here I'm going to do just really playing around with how the balance of color is looking. I'm going to make some adjustments so that it's really capturing that corner with none of the... There we go. I think I like this one better than this one, so I'm going to try to emulate that. Wrong way. Here we go. The green is here. And then this green, white. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, excellent. So now instead of having all of those different colors, we're still back. If we go into our color wheel, we've got much less color than we had before. So now that we have kind of the space of this filled out, I like it. I think that this captures the fun, it captures the coziness, and that my tagline is also really conveying like, okay, what we've got going on. So image number 1, done. If I go to duplicate page, I can really start from a much better spot than I would if I just go to add new page and I have a blank canvas. It's like, oh gosh, like what am I going to put here? I always like to duplicate my pages because then I can adjust the existing items that I have. I can remove the existing items that I have. I can do all kinds of things to make it seem like we have a brand new graphic and we're moving forward from there. So right away, what I like to do is I'm going to delete these corner pieces. I am going to group these items together so that when I move them around, they are moving together. And right away, I'm just going to swap sides of the design so that we have right away, we're getting a different image with those items. Same thing with my little kitty. I'm going to flip horizontal so that we're positioned over here on the side. The cat, depending on what my background is, the cat might not even make it for the might not even stay in this design because of the changes that we're making. We're getting rid of the friends jumping. We're going to get rid of this particular beach design. I'm going to go up and type East Coast Beach because that is where my story takes place. I'm going to go into the photos section and let's see here. What looks like a good like Delaware beach. Let's see. Something with those like traditional, that fence that often is used on the beach. Actually, let me just type in Delaware Beach and see what happens. Delaware Beach. Love it. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. I'm just going to go in, replace background right away, make some just like quick tweaks to the positioning. I really want the sun to be visible to my viewer. There we go. Okay. We're moving in the right direction. I'm going to come in, I'm going to edit that background and go to the filter section to see if we can kind of tone down the color a little bit. Ooh, that one's nice. That one's very bright. That one's not very bright. Okay, I think it was Astro. I like this one because it really almost like basically matches that sunset that is on the cover. So here I'm again going to make some changes to the background. I'm going to blur it slightly because I don't want the, I still want the cover to really pop off. There we go. By blurring it, everything softens so that your eyes aren't immediately drawn to the back. And rather than like what the information is in front of you, I am going to make this bigger so that it takes up more of my frame. Same with my cover. And I'm actually going to ungroup so that I can move this buy now around to a different spot. I wonder if I could actually, because we've switched sides, I might put it here so it's like a little button and pointing to the cover. Let's do that. All right. Adjust it slightly. There we go. And last but not least, I'd be happy actually posting this particular one as is, but I am going to go into the graphics section and see if I can find a hashtag that I like. I do like this one. Going to make it white and I'm going to make it larger. And I'm going to then drop the transparency down so that it's not like completely overshadowing everything. I'm going to put it behind the cover here so that there's like this little, it's kind of like a little, it helps like separate the background with the tagline so that it still like pops off a little bit more. And there, that was what, 5 minutes of tweaks that we just did, morphing this design to this design. That's why I love doing the duplicate feature, because I can really move fast with the existing design elements that I already have at my disposal, and have a lot of fun creating a new design that can be used on social media. So let's do it one more time. So I'm going to duplicate page, getting tongue-tied there. And I am going to go into I'm actually going to get rid of my cover image right here. And you might be thinking, Sarah, what are you doing? I am going to go into my specific trending topic mysteries folder that I have. I am going to look at all the folders that I have, and I'm going to go into my Throwback for Murder folder where I have a bunch of 3D images that I have uploaded into Canva of the book. in various, like, you know, it's on a tablet, it's being held by somebody's, you know, here we go. We've got one where it's like somebody's holding it on their phone. I'm going to make it big. That's a little bit too big. And I can just like position it here. And once again, I'm going to go into the photo section. Let's do Delaware Beach. Am I spelling the word Delaware wrong? Oh, it just wants me to capitalize it. Okay, Delaware Beach, and I'm going to use this this design this time around. And let's flip it, I think. Nope. All right, let's tweak it. Let's go into the edit. I don't want these the grasses around here as much. So I'm going to click into that magic eraser feature. I'm going to see what, oh, this one I'm going to need to use the brush for because it didn't automatically capture the grasses. So I'm just going to like go over to this side of the image and just like wash away this grass bush that's here. I don't have any idea what this is going to look like. It could look terrible, but we're going to give it a try. All right. Not the best in the world, but it's enough that I'm fine with it for now. Because it's my background, this part is already going to be covering it. I'm going to go into the filters and do a little bit more tweaking because I want to support the hand with the background. So let's do some searching here. I might actually end up going into, ooh, that looks like, actually, I think the hand is the one I need to make some adjustments to. I just want to bring up the color of this hand because it is a little pale. And so I'm just going to drag up the temperature, trying not to affect my cover image too much. Let's do contrast maybe. No. Let's do saturation. There we go. Vibrancy. There we go. Okay. So I just wanted to give like a little bit more color and life. Color and life to that hand, then have it be so pale because we are at the beach. So people are going to have a little color on them. Okay. So I'm going to go into my the beach background. I'm going to do some edits myself on this one. I want the coloring here to, no, I don't want it to be purple. Let's do some shadows. Let's see, vibrancy here. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this hashtag identifier for right now. And in this one, because I've been using the same tagline for two designs, I'm going to switch up my tagline. Let's see here. I'm going to do the book tagline, which is some throwbacks are best, and then going to ungroup because this is going to be the forgotten. All right. Some throwbacks are best forgotten. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And like the reason why I know these taglines off the top of my head are I've been using them in my marketing. I sent them to my publisher for, this is actually from the back cover copy. So like, I'm not just like coming up with these like at the drop of a hat. There are things that I have been using time and time again. So I'm not a marketing genius coming up with those so quickly. So we got some throwbacks are best forgotten. I'm going to change the color here. I'm going to go to that pink that I've been using. I am going to keep the forgotten a different color. I think I might go a little bit lighter. Actually, no, I'm just going to keep it white. I'm going to keep it simple. This, though, I am going to change the outline to white. No, I'm not going to do that. You know what? I might change actually what the whole, let's see, here we go. Nope, I definitely need it to be outlined. Okay, I'll just keep it at this one. Maybe, all right, maybe pull off the hand just a little bit more. And then again, you guys know how much I talk about the power of shadows. This still looks like it's just like a hand that has been plastered over a background. I want to give it a little bit more depth. So I'm going to go into the my elements feature. I'm just going to type in shadow because Canva has a lot of different shadows that you can just implement into a page. This one kind of has a like similar shape that we're seeing here. I'm going to actually flip it around and position it so it's a little bit more in line, and then put it behind here. Drag the transparency down so it's not as an extreme shadow, so that there's like some depth to it. And I'm actually, again, going to drag this a bit so that that blurry kind of not great erasing isn't so prominent. Okay. And then again, last but not least on this one, I'm going to go to the blur, and I'm just going to bring up the blurriness so that it softens that focus on what we've got going on here. Okay. I really wish that I could adjust this hand skin. I guess that's a little bit better. Okay. Excellent. So now we have 3 very different designs, but I've all used like the same components in them over and over again as we've been making them. So it's not as if they are completely that we've started from scratch each time. I'm going to show you once more how to go through using the same elements over and over again to make a design easy for you. So I'm going to go to duplicate page. I am going to remove this hand one because we're going to do something a little bit different with the 3D image that we're using, but I'm just going to go ahead and move my some throwbacks are best forgotten. I'm going to keep the buy now here and go back into my folder, book 4. And for this one, do I want to use another hand? I don't. I'm going to use, let's see here. I do like this one. And I'm going to turn the image just a little bit, although I don't know. When was the last time that an iPhone had a home button on it? I'm actually going to rethink that. Nope. This one? All right. This looks like an Android, so we'll do this one. Okay. So I'm coming in here. With a new image. Let's put this up above it. Make this buy now. You know what? Actually, we're going to do a different buy now call to action. I'm going to show you guys how to make your own. So we have our cover. I've got our tagline already configured. Let's do pensive woman. Photos. This is kind of interesting. Although I think, doesn't that look like she's in a wedding dress? I'm not going to do that one. All right, let's see. I'm just looking for like someone that can sort of represent Coco. Here we go. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys that cool magic edit feature magic expand feature that I mentioned earlier that is one of their AI tools. I just really like it. If I go into the edit this photo, scroll over in the Magic Studio all the way to the end to magic expand, what I'm going to do is, because I really want this to be like a full image, so I'm going to drag it out and I'm going to hit expand. I'm going to wait for Canva to do its magic. And what it's going to give me is 4 different options for what is going on these. Okay, maybe this wasn't the best one to use because these people are very horribly designed, but one thing at a time. What we're going to be looking at is this woman and her desk. So looking at which desk actually looks the best from an extended point of view. Not this one. Not this one. I think it's this one. And so bear with me, guys, while I go through this. I'm going to use 2 tools at once. I'm going to go into the magic eraser and I am going to get rid of whatever demonic force this is, and just have this woman sitting in her office space with a complete desk in a frame that I can work with. Okay, so that's much better. I don't know what that blob is here. Let's get rid of it. And I'll show you why I did this, because what I needed to have happen is I needed this photo to be pliable enough as a background that I can position things where I want them to be. So right now I have this like full background. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger because I want to kind of like hide the top of this woman's head, because I don't want her to be like super identifiable, because I like to leave readers' imaginations when it comes to real people. Or when it comes to my characters, I like to leave it to their imaginations for the most part, unless I'm doing like a cartoony design. Okay, so real quickly, just to show you like what, if I hadn't done that magic expand, like why that would have been difficult. Because I have less of a canvas to deal with, my positioning would have been a lot harder to get, see how like I can't like have this woman, I'd have to like really make her large in the photo. I guess it's not the end of the world, but I liked having like the fuller frame of her like clearly sitting at her desk, like looking at something online. Although now that I'm looking at this, I kind of like it too. So maybe we'll table that one. I want to move it so that you can definitely see that she's working on a computer. So it's all about positioning in this case. And so now that I have this new photo, I need to make sure I can frame it correctly so everything is visible and clear and all of that good stuff. Why am I'm like really into this Astro filter for some reason today. That's kind of cute with like the pink accents, but I think I'm going to go with the Astro one, just because it brings up kind of like a darker tone. I'm going to make some changes here. Brightness. Bring up some color again to make it a little bit more vibrant. Okay, perfect. And now I need this Some Throwbacks Are Best Forgotten to really pop. So I'm just going to do a circle. Go to graphics, and I like the textured circles because again, I like how it kind of helps with the blending aspect. And I have this Some Throwbacks Are Best Forgotten. I got to find what color to use. And you know what? I might actually do some changes with these now. We're going to get rid of that like dark, the dark rims. Actually, lift. I'm going to do a lift one here. So there's like a little bit of shadow. And then this one, let's see, what can we do? Nope, I think I definitely need this pink to be the background to really help it come together. Some throwbacks are best forgotten. And now it's like a little badge on the image. And I do want her, I just want that computer to be visible. So I'm going to bring it down here. Yeah, bring it down here from like a positioning standpoint. Move this over a little bit more. And we still need our call to action. It's got to be like right here. So let's do available now. It's kind of cute, but it's a little bit too, I do love gold. Let me see if I can pink and super pink. Whoa. Sometimes I don't understand how like colors work. Because it's like, how is this making it purple? Ooh, okay. So for some reason adding green into the mix. Ooh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. I needed this to be blue, I think. That's what my problem is. Not that. All right, we're gonna do some like color wheel play because I need it to be blue, not purple. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we are. Okay, awesome. So that just like required some experimenting. So now we've got this available now. Some throwbacks are best forgotten. Let's make this circle just a little bit bigger. I'm actually going to make it a corner piece and then bring this in here. Bring this down. There we go. Perfect. Drag this down a little bit. Maybe make it a little smaller, just so that it's not completely... let's adjust this color, make it a little darker so it does stand out. There we go. Then it also looks a little like there might be blood involved since it is a murder mystery. Okay. Maybe drag down the transparency just a little bit on this one. Yes, there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, excellent. I'm just gonna delete. I ended up not needing that other one. Just making some adjustments here. All right. So now, we have 4 images ready to roll that I can access at any point in time using the similar elements in each so that there's like a cohesiveness that ties them all together, but they are all distinctive in their own way. Telling readers what the series is about, having a call to action, letting readers know, hey, this is available now for you to read. And yeah, so there you have it. There's our updated what you can do in Canva with their new redesign that they had this spring. I'll definitely be doing more of these videos as the summer continues on. If you guys have questions or if you have certain features that you'd like to have incorporated into these videos, please let me know. Really quickly, I am going to go into my brand kit for the trending topic mysteries and make some updates to the color patterns that I have. So again, I'm just navigating to the brand kit. I'm in my trending topic mysteries brand kit. I am going to add a new color, add new palette. And let's see, how do I make my own? Let's see. That's fonts, DMA for murder. Bear with. Make a copy, I guess. Oh, we'll do this one. Make a copy. And then I will type this one as throwback for murder. And I can just delete, add new color. I'm going to go back into my color wheel. These photos. All right. To make this a little bit easier on myself, what I'm going to do is use this color so that I can copy, paste. There we go. Add new. Go back into throwback for murder. I'm going to select again that color from the color wheel. Add new color. It always lands on the default color that you've been using, so I can just like select right from there. And then now I'm going to, oopsies. Let's see, I did the wrong thing. Bear with guys. Let me just pull up. Here we go. I had accidentally closed out the design. Oopsies. Okay, so down here, hit that color wheel. So now I'm going to be selecting the colors that I've been using. So for these designs in my brand kit, got to navigate back to my brand kit. Again, brand kit. Select the brand kit that I want to be doing, and then continuing on my throwback for murder. Go here, select this green color. Again, copy that identifying number, pop it in, add new. I do want to just have like the generic white there. And then let's see. Last but not least, this like very orangey-ish color. Copy and paste right into my brand kit. Okay. So there. So now it's updated. So anytime let's say I'm getting ready to do a new design, let's do an Instagram post. If I go in here, go to my color wheel, trending topic mysteries, we now have throwback for murder in the mix. So I can select those colors over and over again for my designs to keep that all consistent. All right, we covered a lot of ground in our stream today. If you have found this helpful in any way, shape, or form, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really, really helps. I don't get any money for these videos and for all of this information that I'm sharing. So if you can help me by growing my channel so that I can reach more authors to help them on their journey, that would be super, super helpful for me. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to attach them to the video. I will get to your responses as I can. And if you have requests for content to cover in these videos, please let me know. You can send me an email. If you'd like me to make designs for you, you can visit my website at bookstobundles.com. The address is at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Again, it is www.bookstobundles.com. I make all types of social media designs for clients. I make bookmarks, I make book trailers, and if you would like help zhuzhing up your content on social media, I am more than happy to help you. So again, thanks so much for being here, you guys, and enjoy the rest of your day.